Corporate housing gets talked about like it's the perfect middle ground. Less chaos than Airbnb, more cash flow than long-term rental, easy to scale, and honestly, a lot of that is true. But here are a few problems nobody warns you about, and if you don't see them coming, they can make you question the entire model. Today, I'm breaking down the top 5 corporate housing problems most people don't find out until they're already in it. These aren't reasons not to do corporate housing, they're reasons to do it the right way. One of these almost made me think the model didn't work at all until I understood what was actually happening. And if you're new here, my name is Jorge Garcia. I run a corporate housing business, and in this channel, I talk about the real behind the scenes. No hype, no shortcuts, just what's actually working in the real world. Let's get into it. One of the biggest shocks people experience in corporate housing is demand. Because if you're coming from Airbnb, you're used to bookings coming in constantly. Corporate housing doesn't work like that. Demand comes in waves. Projects get delayed, contracts end, timelines drift, and suddenly it feels quiet. This is where people panic. They start thinking, did I price this wrong? Is my market bad? Did I mess the whole thing up? Stick with me. This is where most people get it wrong. Nothing is broken. Corporate housing is project-based, not leisure-based. Projects start, projects end, plans change. That is normal. The real mistake is relying on one demand source and expecting consistency. The solution isn't working harder, it's working broader. Multiple demand channels, multiple relationships, multiple lead sources, insurance, corporate contracts, travel professionals, local businesses. When demand slows down in one, another picks back up. And that's how this becomes stable. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of the business. Vacancies in corporate housing feel worse than Airbnb, not because they are actually worse, but because the numbers are higher. Higher rent, better furniture, more responsibility. So when the unit goes vacant, people spiral. They check the listing constantly. They tweak prices every day. They second guess everything. But here's the reality. Corporate housing trades frequency for stability. You're not trying to be full every single day. You're trying to be profitable over time. This is where most people mess up. They plan for perfection instead of planning for the averages. The fits is simple: reserves, conservative underwriting, and emotional discipline. Vacancy isn't failure, it's part of the model, and when you expect it, it stops controlling your decision. Now let's talk about the part that hits your wallet first: furnishings. Corporate housing isn't Airbnb staging. It's not about looking good or photos. People live here, they cook here, they work here, they stay in for months. So yes, furnishings cost more upfront. This is where people make expensive mistakes. They over-design, they buy trendy furniture, they customize every unit. It feels productive, but it kills stability. The solution is boring, and that's why it works. Standardization. Same beds, same couches, same dining sets, same layout. Buy for durability, buy for replaceability, buy for repeatability. Once your setup is dialed in, furnishings become a system, not a stress point. And systems allow you to scale calmly. Now here's one that catches a lot of people off guard: cleaning. With Airbnb, cleaning is baked into the model. With corporate housing, guests treat the unit like a home. If expectations aren't set early, small issues turn into big frustration. Here's the truth: most cleanliness complaints aren't cleaning problems, they're communication problems. The fix is simple: set expectations before move in, offer optional mid-stay cleans, be clear about responsibilities. Clarity creates calm for you and for the guests. Now, this next one surprised people the most. Corporate housing is a sales business. You're not just listing a unit and waiting. You're selling reliability, you're selling trust, you're selling solution. And before that turns you off, stick with me. This is actually simpler than it sounds. This isn't pushy sell, it's follow-up. It's clear communication, professionalism. Companies don't want drama, they want housing handled. If you respond quickly, communicate clearly, and follow through, you immediately stand out. This is where hobby house stop and operators separate themselves. So here's the big picture. Corporate housing isn't passive, but it's calmer than Airbnb, more flexible than long-term rentals, and incredibly scalable when treated like a business. Once you understand these problems and plan for them, this model becomes predictable, and predictability is where lifestyle freedom actually comes from. If you want the real corporate housing playbook, not just highlight reels, hit subscribe. And if you have already run into some of these problems, drop a comment below. You're not behind, you're just learning what most people will never talk about.